Okay, picture this. You're walking through a buzzing Taiwanese night market. You can hear that sizzle of batter hitting hot iron, you see the steam rising up, and you can smell that amazing, savory aroma in the air. You've found it, a takoyaki stall, and there's a master behind the counter, just effortlessly flipping dozens of these little golden brown balls. It's a total feast for the senses, right? But believe me, this little golden ball has a much, much bigger story than you'd think.
So many of us have eaten these things, but this humble street snack has been on an absolutely wild journey. It completely changed from how it started in Japan to become this legend in Taiwan. So what is the secret story hiding inside this little golden ball? Let's get into it.
Just watching takoyaki get made is half the fun. It's like pure performance art. The vendors got these steel picks, and they're flipping the batter with this incredible speed, turning what's basically liquid into these perfect little spheres. And then the grand finale. They shower it with a whole handful of bonito flakes. These are paper-thin shavings of dried smoked tuna, and they just seem to come alive and dance in the heat. It's a whole show before you even get to take a bite. But to really get what this little golden ball is all about, we gotta go back in time. And we have to go across the sea to its ancestral home in Osaka, Japan. This is where the whole story gets started. And get this, it doesn't begin with octopus at all. So our journey kicks off way back in the 1930s with a snack called radioyaki. Then in 1935, someone has a brilliant idea, a real stroke of genius, and swaps the original filling for octopus. And bam, takoyaki as we know it is born. But the story doesn't end there, not even close. Decades later, in the 1990s, it shows up in Taiwan, and that's when things get really interesting. The original name, radioyaki, is just fascinating, isn't it? In the 1930s, the radio was the hottest piece of new technology. It was like the iPhone of its day. So naming a snack after it was just brilliant marketing. But inside, nope, no octopus. It was filled with simmered beef tendon and cognac, which is this kind of gelatinous plant-based thing, all inside a really soft, gooey batter. So when takoyaki finally gets to Taiwan in the 90s, it runs into a big problem, a huge one. And it wasn't about the flavor, it was all about the feel. It was a total clash of textures that was gonna completely change its destiny. Okay, so the authentic Osaka style is all about this really delicate balance. You've got a soft outer layer, and then the inside is gooey, almost like molten lava, kind of semi-cooked batter. For a lot of Japanese food lovers, that texture, well, that's the whole point. But that uncooked feeling, yeah, that didn't really fly with the Taiwanese palate. Local tastes were all about something more substantial, something with a really satisfying bite. And this right here is the absolute crucial turning point of its story. Takoyaki got a massive makeover, all driven by a love for a crispy outside and a firm, chewy inside. So how in the world did this big change happen? Let's actually break down the anatomy of the Taiwanese takoyaki and see how it went on to become a true local celebrity. Because it's way more than just cooking it a little bit longer. I mean, right here, you can really see the differences, clear as day. Japanese mayo is tangy, it's egg-based, but in Taiwan, they prefer a sweet, almost salad dressing-style mayonnaise. The original uses these crunchy little tempura scraps for texture, but the Taiwanese version is loaded up with fresh cabbage and corn. It all adds up to a totally different experience. These right here, these are the secret weapons. You've got the sweet mayo, the amazing visual of the dancing bonito flakes, that fresh crunch from the cabbage and corn, and of course, that killer, signature, crispy shell. You put them all together, and you get something that is 100% uniquely Taiwanese. So how do they get that perfect crust? Okay, lean in, here's the secret. The vendors use a ton of oil. Seriously, as they're flipping the takoyaki, they're pretty much half frying them in those little round molds. That's the magic trick. That's what gives them that golden, crunchy outside we all crave. It's not just pan-seared, it's a deep-fried work of art. Feeling inspired? You can totally try this at home. The real key is a hot, really well-oiled pan. Let that batter overflow everywhere. Pack in your fillings, and then, be brave with the flip. The last step is the best part. Just go absolutely wild with the sauce, the mayonnaise, and a blizzard of those dancing bonito flakes. All right, now for anyone who's ever eaten a takoyaki fresh off the grill, there is one universal, unspoken rule. It's kind of like an urban legend that is 100% true. Yup, the first bite will absolutely, positively scorch your tongue. That gooey center basically acts like molten magma, and it holds an unbelievable amount of heat. You know the pose. It's that mix of pure joy and total panic as you're desperately trying to cool it down in your mouth. We've all been there. But hey, beyond the deliciousness and the inevitable tongue burn, takoyaki in Taiwan has become something more. It's not just food you eat, it's a food you experience. It's totally tied to moments and to memories. For so many people, it's the taste of freedom after a long day at school. It's the perfect snack for a date at the night market. You know, that little cardboard boat with 6 golden balls, steam rising up, bonito flakes dancing. It's a symbol of simple, shared happiness. When you really think about it, this humble little snack represents a really beautiful idea. Someone once described it as a delicious art of roundness and completion. And that's perfect. From a simple batter to this perfect golden sphere, it's a small, deeply satisfying piece of culinary perfection. So, this fantastic voyage of the takoyaki, from a radio-themed snack in Osaka to a crispy night market icon in Taiwan, really shows how food travels and changes and becomes part of a new culture. Which kind of leaves us with one last thought. What about you? What food is more than just a meal to you? What tastes like a memory?